Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the Light & Building in Frankfurt. My name is Klaus Bieckmann. I'm a member of Dial Germany. Dial is responsible for the software Dialux, which could be used for doing lighting calculation for interior and exterior spaces. And now we are here at the Light & Building to show you our latest version. It's called Dialux Evo. There are some new features in it, and now I'm going to show you what's about this new version of the software. So, first of all, we can start by drawing a new building, by creating a new building. We start with a DWG DXF import. Maybe you already know it from the version 4.10. First of all, I open this DWG file, and here you will find the possibility to hide or to show the different layers. For example, here I have a layer with the dimension lines. You can hide or show this. This is necessary if it's not used for your light planning. Also, the axis could be hidden. And then we are working in the tab Construction. In general, you start on the left and go to the right. Construction, light planning, calculation, and then documentation. And then we have these different tools, and you start from the top to the bottom. Now we have this floor plan of a new building. Here you see a showroom. You also see an office and a conference room, a seminar room. And now we go on by drawing a new building. Here I have the polygonal line, and now I'm selecting the outer edge of that building. This is a little bit different compared to this current version Dialux 4. There the inner line of this building would be redrawn, but now we take this outer line because we start by creating this complete building. Now we go on by drawing a new indoor contour, and then we can create our different rooms. You see that there is a snap available, a snap according to those DWG lines, and you can create each room single by single. And here you can do a right click, say close polygon, and now we have this room number 1. Right next to this room number 1 we have several other rooms, and you can continue by drawing the next indoor contour for the next room. You can do a right click, close polygon, and this is room number 2. And for example, at the bottom we have this seminar room, and here again you can snap the edges, do a right click and say close polygon. Now we have this room number 3. When we change into the 3D view, you see that the rooms are cut out of this building, and that's the way it works. That's a complete new way to create rooms right next to each other. Also, the thickness of the rooms could be individual. When we go to the floor plan, once again, it is possible to insert a window. Here we have a catalog of different window types. It is possible to place an arced window, a round window, or different kinds of window. You can also define your own kind of window. You can say, I would like to draw a new building opening, and then again this snap could be used, which is available in this CAD drawing. And you can just click on the edges of the windows, and now automatically a new window will be inserted. Here again it's possible to take these windows for the room at the bottom. And when you go back to the 3D view, you see that these windows are a real cutout of the walls. You can look from the inside to the outside and the other way around, so we created real wall openings in that case. So then we can go on by inserting a new ceiling. That is also a new feature. A suspended ceiling was not possible in the Dialux version 4.10. Now Dialux asks us in which room the suspended ceiling should be placed. Here, for example, I select one room, say insert ceiling into room. By the way, it is also possible to place a special ceiling. If you would like to have a polygonal suspended ceiling, then you would say draw new ceiling. In that case, I will select insert new ceiling, and here you see this orange line, and this orange line shows our suspended ceiling. Here we can define the distance of the raw ceiling, the thickness of the ceiling, or the distance from the floor to that ceiling. So it is possible, of course, to edit this ceiling. The ceiling could be used for the luminaires. Later on, when we insert luminaires, it is possible that the luminaires snap into that ceiling. Then we can place furniture. Here you have different arrangement types of furniture. This is also new. Maybe you know this from the luminaire arrangement in Dialux version 4, circle arrangement, line arrangement, field arrangement. These arrangements are also available for furnitures now. We have a furniture catalog here. You can select a special type of furniture. You can also use this searching criteria. For example, if I would like to place a chair, just type in chair, and we have a library available with different chairs which could be placed there. Maybe this chair. And now one possibility would be if we have a conference room or a restaurant, for example, it is possible to draw a new rectangular shape here. And Dialux automatically places different lines and different rows of chairs. And you can edit the number of chairs, for example. As you can see it at the bottom, 3 by 3, for example. You can also edit the axis by moving the axis. And you can also do a right click and say add grid line, and another line with 3 chairs will be inserted here. This is just an example with chairs. You can also do it with tables and plants and whatever you have there available in Dialux. You can also rotate all elements at the same time when you press this button here at the bottom. And besides this, if I do the deselection, select it once again and select one chair individually, then it's possible to move it. Also, the way to move the object is a little bit different compared to Dialux version 4. You have these arrows here, a green arrow, red arrow, and a blue arrow. And here, when you take just the green arrow, then the other axes are fixed, so that it's possible just to move it in this line. You can also delete one of these elements. Then it is possible to use different colors and different materials. You can take one of these colors, say apply material, and put it to the walls, for example. Then it is also possible to open a library, a catalog, a texture catalog. Maybe you already know these textures of Dialux version 4. Maybe we would like to use a wooden floor, a parquet flooring. Then we can type in wood there, and we have the possibility to select a special type of parquet flooring, and again drag and drop, as you already know, will be possible there. Then also possible to define glass or transparent material. This is also new. To show you, I'm going to place a table. Here again, drag and drop still works. And you see we have a table with a gray surface, but it's possible to create glass material. Therefore, I select create color material, select some kind of green color, and at the bottom you have the possibility to change it into transparency. And here we have a slight degree of transparency. I will scale it a little bit that you can see what's going on there. And when you have a look at that ball, please pay attention. When I move that slide to transparency, you see that it will become transparent. And now it's possible to say apply material to the top of the table, and automatically you can see through that table, even if you have not done the calculation yet. So that's another feature of Dialux Evo. Furthermore, it is possible to define each room as a special assessment zone. Assessment zone means that I can define a special profile. For example, this room might be an office, an industry area, a corridor, whatever. These profiles come out of the European norm EN 12464 part. And there, Dialux tells you what are the requirements for the task area, for the surrounding area, and for the background area. Of course, you can edit these values. At the moment, we have a beta version, but in the real version, it would be also possible to find a check in the documentation if these values are fulfilled or not. So now let's go on with the illumination. When you change into the tab Light, it is possible to select a luminaire. Here we have this tab Catalogs, and all our Dialux partners are in there at the moment. Round about 160 different manufacturers are available. If you have already installed these catalogs for your Dialux version 4, they will automatically appear in this new version Evo, and also have the possibility to do a right-click and say Start Catalog as online or the installed catalog. Of course, you need an internet connection if you would like to use the online version. I just selected, it's just an example, it's a fitting from Airco. I just selected it, and here still it's possible to use the circle, line arrangement, and to use single arrangement. Also, Dialux is automatic calculation if you would like to reach 100, 300, 500 lux on the average on the workplace. It's possible that Dialux suggests you a special number of fittings. What is new? New is the automatic arrangement for spaces. Therefore, you can select a room or a space, and Dialux automatically shows you a grid. And this main idea of this grid is that you have a real uniform illumination. That's the main idea of this automatic arrangement, to create a high uniformity on the work plane. Still, it's possible to edit the axis, as I showed you concerning the stairs, concerning the chairs. And I can also do a right-click, say Remove Grid Line, or another right-click and say Add Grid Line. This is possible. You can also fix axis. When you say Lock Grid Line, then these axes will be fixed. Now, you see, in that case, we have track-mounted luminaires. Of course, these luminaires make no sense when you work with a suspended ceiling, but you see that automatically the height of the suspended ceiling will be adapted. So you see that we have the mounting height, which has something to do with the suspension height of that ceiling. When we change into the tab Calculation, we can start the calculation. In that case, we have a luminaire which has different colors. It's RGBW, red, green, blue, and white. And therefore, the calculation takes a little time, because now Dialux continues doing the different calculation for the different colors. This is an advantage, because later on we can dim the different colors online. That means that we can change it without doing a new calculation. So, and when the results are done, you see what's going on here. We also have the possibility to have a white balance. If it's too bluish, you can also change this white balance and it will appear more yellow. It's just a setting concerning your screen, or in that case concerning the projector. You can also show or hide the DWG plan and hide this room stamp, it is called. You can also change this into office or conference room or whatever you want, or you can hide it. And when we did the calculation, now it's possible to have a look at the results. Therefore, we can select a special icon which is necessary for showing the ISO lines on the floor, for example, and then you can just click at the walls, and then automatically you will reach the results there as ISO lines. You can also do an individual scale of the ISO lines and define different colors here out of this list. And besides this, it is possible to delete these values again. By the way, if you have a surface of a furniture, for example, if you are interested in the values on the top of the table, you can also have the ISO lines for this surface. And what we can see here is a color effect. We have colored green glass, and here at the bottom you see that the light goes through this colored glass and has a colored effect on the floor here. So, besides this, I would like to show you the different ways to dim luminaires. When we go to the tab Light Scenes, you see different slides. Here we have 4 different slides, one for red, the next one for green, the next one for blue, and the last one for white. And when I turn down the blue, for example, you see that the colors will be changed. Here we have just green light because just the green LEDs are working at the moment, and of course you can change it into red. It's an online dimming. I don't have to do the calculation once again. It's just once calculation, and then you can dim them individually from each other. Besides the color change, you also have a change in the calculated values, of course. That's clear so far because you have less power when you just use one LED type there. So that's the way Dialux Evo works. Besides this, we can also have a look at the exterior scene, and this is also new. When we have a look at the exterior situation, you see the light which goes through that window and reaches the exterior scene, and now you can continue by placing different floors on the top of the first floor, or different exterior scenes. You can add another building, you can add a parking area or a facade lighting, for example. This is possible in Dialux Evo, and therefore I'd like to show you a new project here. This is a calculation of a complete building, and here you see we have an illumination of the car park area. We have an illumination of the different rooms here, and you can, of course, you can walk into that building and enter into these rooms and have a look, and you can turn around, and that's also new. We have real transparent glass. That was not possible in Dialux version 4. We have this transparency effect also after we did the Dialux calculation. You can move the observer through these complete building situation here, and then we can do the scale like this. And here it's a complete new way of navigation. For example, we can have a look at the complete site, we can just have a look at the building, and we can have a look at the different stories or at the different floors. Here we have the first floor with different rooms, and here we have the second floor with different rooms. You can imagine that it's now possible to build up real complex geometries, and still, if you are used to use this single room geometry, it's still available there. You can just change the view. Here in this list you have the different rooms you can navigate in, and for example now room number 2, it looks like the old Dialux version 4. You can concentrate on this single room, do your illumination there, but the building is still there. You can just change the view, and here we have the complete project.